And we start this bulletin with breaking news coming in. A state is all set to challenge Oscar's 6-year sentence in the Supreme Court of Appeal. Now, ANN7 has learned that the state is going to file a petition tomorrow with the SCA. The NPA has confirmed to ANN7 that the state has filed papers in the High Court. It must be remembered that the state's appeal was earlier dismissed by trial judge Masipa. Now, joining us in the newsroom is ANN7 reporter Michael Apple, who has more on this big story. Michael, very good afternoon to you. Just when you think we have seen the back of Oscar's story, it seems it keeps on creeping up. What is the latest? What have we learned so far?
Well, that's right. Good afternoon. Everybody expected the state would not let it lie there. That last legal avenue open to the state was to directly petition the Supreme Court of Appeal within 21 days. And that's exactly what they've done, except they've done it in 15 days. We were in the South Gauteng High Court in front of Judge Masipa on the 26th of August. They had 21 court days, and they've used only 15 of those. So it shows that they really are adamant about this decision. And they have filed papers as a formality, just informing the South Gauteng High Court of their intention to directly petition the Supreme Court of Appeal. So it is to Bloemfontein that we all go then. It's the registrar of the SCA that'll come back to the state whether their petition has been successful or not. And if so, they will then give them a date in which the defense and the state then once again head to the SCA in Bloemfontein.
Right. Have we heard from the defense team? Are they ready for this new war, so to speak?
Not heard from the defense team as yet, no.
How many years is the NPA going for? I know that he has been given 6 years. Obviously, they want more than that. Are we looking at, 25 years?
No, well, this is the basis of their appeal. They say that 6 years for murder dolus eventualis, which is murder with indirect intent, is shockingly light and inappropriate. They say that the starting point for murder in terms of our minimum sentencing legislation is 15 years. That is the starting point. And if you're going to deviate from 15 years, there needs to be substantial and compelling circumstances. They agree that there may be substantial and compelling circumstances, but that's what the state has accused Judge Masipa of overemphasizing Pistorius's personal circumstances and not looking at Reeva Steenkamp, the victim, in this enough. So they say a 9-year deviation from 15 years to 6 years cannot be, and they're pushing for somewhere between 10 and 12.
Now, Michael, you have been following the story. You've become somewhat an expert at it, and I'm sure you have quite learned a bit of law, as you've been following the story. Just from your understanding, does the state have a leg to lean on here? Do you think they have a good chance of having the sentence overturned?
Well, I'll tell you what legal experts have been saying, and that's that 6 years for a murder sentence was certainly more on the lenient side, but it must be understood that this is murder with indirect intent. You have your two different types of murder, to put it plainly: dolus directus, direct intent to kill somebody, and dolus eventualis, the term that we all became so au fait with over the years, and that is that Pistorius should have reasonably foreseen that his actions would have resulted in the death of another human being, that he reconciled himself with that outcome and then acted in any case. And that's what he was found guilty of by the Supreme Court of Appeal, not by Judge Masipa initially. She initially found him guilty of culpable homicide. Of course, that overturned by the SCA. So perhaps the state is looking for that same, is obviously looking for that same outcome when they go back to the SCA for the second time now.
Right, Michael, thank you so much for that update there. Breaking news just coming in that the NPA has filed papers with the Supreme Court of Appeal to challenge Oscar's 6-year sentence. They're looking at something from 9 years going up. Of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on the story, and we'll be giving you the latest as soon as we have more developments on it.